the whole world is upside down. And if you don't define your journey, you will just be everywhere, and you will never land. So, we're talking purely on a believer's perspective. That as a believer, what are the things that are expected of us in marriage? We've said that the young man had to seek for inner pasture. Yes, the Bible says it's not good for a man to be alone. But there are circumstances, because of the reality of where we are, that sometimes there will be need to travel. It can be as short as 1 month. It can be as long as a year or more. Some of these are things you cannot help. Particularly, there are people who work in the military. And in the military, it's not optional for you if you have to go on an assignment. So, how then do we help ourselves? Number one, we all need to know that love is not an emotional attachment. Emotional feeling for someone is not love. Likeness is not love. Love, rather, is a sacrificial decision. It's a sacrificial decision that requires efforts to drive it through. When God decided to love us, he knew it was going to cost him his only son. He knew that we would disappoint him over and over and over. But he has decided and made up his mind that he was the one that punished men. He was the one that provided the sacrifice that will reconcile men back to him. He was the one that has continuously anointed men of God to go after men, preach to them until they will turn back and come back to me. That is the sacrifice of love. Therefore, for husband and wife, your love to marry is beyond emotional feeling. Therefore, online dating, my dear brothers and sisters, is emotional connections. You may not be able to take a genuine decision of your lifetime based on somebody you are communicating with online. Why? Love decision is taken when somebody have hurt you brutally, and yet you still find a reason why the two of you should be in that marriage. Any marriage without a hurt is the marriage of two dead people. When we went to carry my father's corpse in the mortuary, she was lying next to a woman. If you leave the two of them there for the next 30 years, they will not fight for 1 minute. But two people in love, you are bound to disagree. They are bound to be dangerous contacts. But if after you can talk it over and continue, that is love. But I like you, you hurt me, I no longer like you. It's allowed. But I love you, you hurt me, I no longer love you. It's not love. Love is a sacrificial decision that requires a lot of effort to do. Now, consent to doing wrong does not excuse you from being wrong. That I got the consent of my wife that I want to travel abroad, and therefore if I get there I will marry fakely and come so that I can bring you people and others. They say when my people, they say now waiting day inside man mind. Now drink they make and talk when he's drunk. When a man get drunk and he's calling you names, and you say from you to me, and he says sorry I was drunk, it's a lie. That alcohol just gave him boldness to say his mind. It was already there. Must you go through that route to make it in life? Must you? If you understand that adultery will make you go to hell, and you say, okay, I chose to make money and go to hell, and you say that is the only option available to you, then why don't you try sniper and say, well, because it's a necessity. I just have, my throat was so dry and there's no liquid around. It's the only liquid that can just give me some, so let me drink it. You won't dare it because you know the consequence. But you are doing this because you know you will enjoy a woman that you wanted to even in the first place. So that we agree to doing it, that's why I did it, is wrong. Don't go and marry because you want to get a visa and you now adulterate your marriage. Then, the first contribution, it was so humorous and painful. He said, that's meant for you. I just look at myself, I say, oh, is that how we are in the eye of women? And I heard confirmation everywhere. Yeah. And I asked myself, who has brought us to this level where all men are now perceived to be unfaithful? Who has brought us to that level? Yes, we have seen cases. Yes, the whole world is under pressure. But the Bible says, if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be healthy. But if your eye is bad, everything about you will be bad. When your eye is healthy, when you see a woman, the first thing that comes to your mind is not that you have seen a sex machine. When your eye is healthy, when you see a man well built, handsomely standing, height, broad shoulder, everything, what comes to your mind is not how you adulterate yourself. So it is how you perceive life and what you see that what you do. There are men, let me clear it, let me confirm to you, there are men today that even when you tell them, I will give you the daughter of the President of America and also put 100 years of stay in America for you, they will not commit adultery. They will not. Because if you grow with that mindset, one of the most dangerous things to a marriage is trust. Once trust is lost, everything in that marriage is lost. Whatever you are building, you are just building on uncertainty. Because the trust that is not there is not going to make the journey to last. The journey of a marriage is trust. And rounding up with that story, it's unfortunate that the young man left and got over there, and the lack of self-control overtook him. Because one of the things that we easily give into and we give excuse is that because you are far away. If a man goes abroad and after 5 years he decided to begin to commit adultery in the name of the fact that you are far away, are there no other wrongs there that you avoided because you know the consequences? There are times you are broke. Did you steal? Because you know the system will find you out. You know they will jail you. You won't do it. But because this one, probably you don't know the consequence. You don't understand the gravity of the consequence. Is that pressure can push you into it. So in conclusion, remember, your marriage vow is first to God before your partner. Your marriage vow is first to God before your partner. Why? God is the originator of marriage. Adam did not ask for a wife. It was God who said, I see that you are lonely and I want to give you a partner. So anytime you are taking that route, you are making a covenant with God and you are making a covenant with your partner. If you are unfaithful to your marriage vow, you are unfaithful to God. And any man who is unfaithful to God, if your punishment has not come, it's just a question of time. It will surely come. Don't take the world standard as God's standard. Because even among young people now, I hear that sex by consent is not fornication. Dangerous dimensions. Dangerous dimension. God did not say rape is fornication. He said when you have sex out of wedlock is fornication. When you have sex out of your marriage is adultery, adulterated life. And there's nothing that is adulterated that can deliver value. It won't deliver good value. So don't live by the world standard. Let's live by God's standard. And above it all, if you can avoid it, don't leave your partner alone. You are tempting yourself, honestly. If you can avoid it, if it is not extremely essential, don't leave your partner alone. I will never leave my wife and go and stay in the US for 1 year. Why? Because the truth is this, women hear this, so that before you kill your husband, you know what? The same way you need food every day to survive, men need sex. Women can go without sex for longer time than men, but men cannot stand long enough. If your husband says, no, I am fine, tell him, you are not fine. Because his eye will follow everywhere. The eye of men are never satisfied. It takes discipline when the eye collects the image and you say, yes, you collected the image, but I don't need it. It takes discipline. And there's temptation everywhere. Now nakedness is everywhere on the street, unfortunately. The body of women that are more sensitive, they are the ones that display nakedness everywhere. I've never seen a naked man on the street. Every man go with their trouser. Only very few will wear knicker. And even when they wear that knicker, it's closer to their knee. Men. But if women go to the mall, bump short, sleeveless. It was once I saw one was just bra and bump short. And she was... Your husband will look, oh. But when he looks, let him have where to revenge when he gets home. If he doesn't have where to revenge, his mind will wander around. So don't leave your husband and say, travel. After 3 years, come and pick us. Anything can happen after that 3 years. Don't let anybody deceive you. God bless you.